Hello YouTube friends, today I'll be reviewing the new Pat McGrath Midnightsun palette. If you're new, consider subscribing. Into my monthly giveaways. This month I'm giving away the ABH Norvina and the Benefit Queen of the Camp set, so consider subscribing if you want to be entered. So moving on to the Pat McGrath Midnightsun palette, it retails for $125. The price hasn't gone up since last year. The packaging looks very similar, except the emphasis is on a purple gold look. So today I want to actually look at those purple gold shades and see if it's really worth it, and whether or not you can buy something for much cheaper and skip this palette altogether. So I'm only focusing on these shades today. This purple color, for me, it really didn't show up. I don't know whether I got a bad batch or not, but as you know, I don't do ads or PR on this channel, so currently there's very poor pigmentation. So I want to find 7 better purples to recommend to you guys that are affordable in those colors. First purple that I'm very much into is the Mothership. It comes from the Mothership 3 Subversive palette. Now this palette came out about 2 years ago, and it's about the same price as the Mothership palette that came out this year. It has a really beautiful blue purple color in it, and it shows up purple on my skin, and I really enjoy this color. As you can see side by side, this color is definitely more pigmented than this year's release, and I've also swatched the green color, which is called Wicked Envy, next to it, which is another popular color, but I'm gonna still try and focus on these blues, the purples, and I'm gonna find you 7 cheaper purples so you don't have to go and buy a Pat McGrath palette. So I'll go ahead and swatch this in a different light for you. This is the same purple that I just showed you, and let's have a look and see what this looks like in a different light. I mean, I find my arm and it's still not showing up super pigmented at all to me, but let's go ahead and compare it with some other purples. So someone on YouTube recommended the Tarte Unleashed loose purple chrome paint shadow pot as a dupe for this. So let's see if this is really a dupe for this color, or whether it's better or worse. So I want to go ahead and compare these side by side to see if this is really worth it or not. And I was really curious to see if that person's statement was true or not. So I'm going to swatch these side by side, and let's have a look. So this is not the same purple. In fact, they have very different undertones, and but as far as the level of pigmentation, it is about the same. But that one, the Pat McGrath one is definitely more blue tone compared to the Tarte Shadow Pot. So far, it's alright. Let's go have a look at the Jackie Aina palette that came out. This year. Retails for $45, and the purple there is definitely way more pronounced and pigmented. And then I'm going to compare it to another favorite purple that I have from the Urban Decay Moondust palette, and that one retailed for $49. I believe the color was called Magenta, and there. So compared to that, it's way more obvious. So far, I'm really liking the Jackie Aina or the Urban Decay Moondust palette. They're definitely showing up a lot more pronounced, and my third favorite is probably the Tarte, and my least favorite is definitely the new Pat McGrath. Unfortunately, I am so not impressed with this new Pat McGrath palette, so let's keep searching for more purples. Next one I want to have a look at is a ColourPop palette that retailed for $20. I don't know if this palette is still being sold. It was from their Villains collection. I already reviewed this earlier this year for you guys, and I can't find a similar tone purple. I'm just gonna swatch it side by side. It's definitely not as glittery or anything, so I don't know if this is really comparable. Then I'm gonna have a look at another new release, which is the ABH Norvina collection, Volume 1. And they had a lot of beautiful pressed pigment. Now, as I have to remind you, this is not the one I'm giving in a giveaway. There's two I bought, so yes, there is an ABH Norvina, but it's not this palette. I showed it to you guys in another video. So look at that blue purple. It's just I think this is quite comparable to the new Pat McGrath, and actually it is another favorite, like side by side with the Moon Dust and the Jackie Aina. So I'm going to probably recommend this purple over the Pat McGrath. It just slides so much more smoother, and it's just so much more buttery. Next, I'm going to look at the Smashbox UV palette, and that is not glittery or anything. So while it's purple, it is not the same at all. It's totally different undertone, totally different everything. So I wouldn't call it a better one. So let's have a look at this in a different light again, and I'm going to try this again under a different light and pick out that same blue. I've already got another copy of that blue that I created in a single shadow pot, and I'm going to take the Jackie Aina as well and my single shadow pot and look at them in this light. So first one is the Subversive one from 2 years ago. It's beautiful. It's duochrome. Jackie Aina is not duochrome, but it's just as glittery and beautiful. Then there's the Urban Decay Moon Dust, which is just almost duochrome, and it's quite beautiful. Then I'm going to do this Tarte one real quick again. And we're just doing this to look at it in a different light. And the Tarte one is actually looking better this time because I've primed my arm a little bit more. And then this time I'm going to use the Kylie Collection Purple palette. And the Kylie one doesn't really show up as much like compared to those other ones. So now I'm going to go back to the new Mothership and compare them like side by side with all of these. And it's such a dry formula. It is really, really hard to work with this shade. And it's, you know, it's not really showing up as well as the Subversive one from 2 years ago, or the Jackie Aina. This is not showing up the same as her, what she showed in the pictures. So I don't know what she did, but so far my favorite is the Subversive. And if you want to go with cheaper, go with ABH. Now, a couple years ago, she also released these single palettes and also the liquid to as a mixer to make them look more liquidy and flowy. And I was so impressed with the formula from 2 years ago. I mean, if you just look at the golds alone, the gold colors were really, really shiny and beautiful. And I didn't even have to use the mixer. It just looks so liquidy and amazing. So I'll go ahead and compare that with the gold that she released this year. I don't know really what happened. Maybe, I don't know if it's a manufacturing issue or what. But if you use the gold from this year, it is so much more dry and underwhelming than the previous years. I'll just go and swatch it side by side for you guys so you can see. And I'm also going to try a different gold that she released also 2 years ago. So this is the 2019 one, which is just so dry and underperforming to me. And then this is the other gold again. I mean, this is amazing. I mean, the difference is just like night and day with these golds. So overall, I think you already know my thoughts about this palette without me having to repeat it. I don't recommend it to you guys, and I think you can find so many more dupes out there for cheaper. But and also, as far as the green one, I was able to find a similar color in the Rustic Glam palette from Dominique Cosmetics that came out earlier this year, and it is very much similar. I think the quality has gone down this year. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. The Subversive one was just so much more better, and in my opinion, the best purple she's ever come out with that I own. What did you think? As always, thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next time.